Am I in it?
Yes, you are.
Hey everyone. So today, gonna give you a little demo of the processor here, and we'll test it out, and then I'll get a little bit of a walk around going and show you what we've done. There's still a few things that are unfinished, but we'll give you a good idea of where we're at and where we're gonna hopefully get it finished. we'll start from the engine. 15 horsepower Pro-Point engine. Most of the components are Princess Auto components. They helped us out a lot with it, and still a few things I need to get sorted out in the hydraulics, but for the most part they did pretty good. 15 horsepower engine. I think it's a 12.5 gallon per minute pump. And then that goes up to the 3-way valve. The first lever is for the feed back and forth. It's just on a chain loop. It runs off of the motor back here. So we reduced the speed a little bit. I think it's 3 to 1 right now, approximately. It still needs to slow down a lot. I think we're going to get a flow restrictor valve on both sides of it to slow the back and forth down a little bit. It's not too bad. The valves are nice and tight right now, so you can operate it slowly. So it'll feed nice and slow. The second valve lever here is our up and down for the clamp. So that's we happen to already have the cylinder, so we just went with that one. It's far overkill for it, but it works. So clamps in. Now we have all the stack of length restrictors on, just so that when the height's up, it's all the way up, and then fully extended, it sits right down in the trough. And the third valve is the saw. We never really need to run the saw backwards, so the saw is just down, and that'll run the motor for the chain. And all that flows into the third one, which is the splitter. That's a kickoff, so auto kickoff return. It's a have to make sure, I think it's a 4.5 inch bore. Our oiler tank hose comes down. Got just a gas line on off. It works. I welded in the little fitting on there, and that flows in. Conveniently enough, it's the same size as a chainsaw tool, so it's still studs, 13 mil studs, and a 18-inch steel bar and chain. Now we got a China bar on here right now, but that doesn't really matter. So I built up the plate here, welded it all in, and grooved out for the slot for the oiler. So it's basically the same as what a standard chainsaw would be. It's a threaded stud, and what we used to hold the chainsaw sprocket on, it's 1/2 inch shaft, and conveniently enough, the little piece behind here is from one of those chainsaw winch tools. So it's the clutch piece on the chainsaw winches. So it fit on a 1/2 inch shaft, and my 8 pin chainsaw sprocket goes right on there, and just a dual lock locking collar on the 1/2 inch shaft. It's approximately, it's hard to know exactly, it's approximately equivalent to a 660, I think, for power, give or take, if we did the math right. Then I guess we got our our stop. It's just on a 2 pillow blocks. Shaft goes through. It's just pinned in. And my stop for up, and then stop for down. So it can only go that far. Then from there, got our tray for the logs. Maybe looks sort of jerry-rigged, but it works good. Nice big outfeed tray. I know a lot of people are fixed on the 4-way, 6-way, 8-way wedges, but it's not the way to go. The 2-way just works well because I know what I'm getting every time. And yeah, some of the bigger stuff you may need to resplit, but splitter's already here. There's no point in me putting a 4-way in and then getting little tiny slivers of wood that I'm just going to throw out or burn myself that I can't sell. So that works well. Nice big 1-inch plate for the wedge. And then the splitter, the push plate, it's just fabbed up on the big piece of, what is that, H-beam, I guess. And it's bolted down in, so that bottom plate of steel comes off, and I can pull it off. Bolts in there, back and forth. The other thing we are going to do too, we're not going to leave the sheets OSB in here. They're just temporary. I want to make sure to keep the engine and tank all covered up for now. We are going to get a full sheet of steel, and it's just going to go up here, keep the water and debris off of the engine and tank. We have a return line filter and 10-gallon. It's just the Econo tank, but we figured with the return line filter, and we have a suction line filter too, we don't need a fancy ass tank for